lot of times us as consumers and real people, we don't really see how the IRA and the IIJA and all the things that are going on as we move to a green economy, how is it really impacting the everyday person? And so with that, Karen, I know you have lots of experience in dealing with people, and you have a human capital background as well. So in the transition to the green economy, how can a focus on skills help minimize impacts and disruptions to the workforce?
Yeah. Hello, everybody. So, yeah, I think the skills are a huge piece of this. So I think when we look at kind of the history of how skills became this sort of currency, even from the Industrial Revolution and sort of the blue-collar workforce, which gave way to the white-collar workforce, and now we have this green-collar workforce, which is really characterized by new, emerging jobs, kind of the I would say like steel workers who were used to working in coal-fired, environments now moving to kind of green hydrogen, and net new jobs like fuel cell engineers, and then a lot of other jobs that are being disrupted because of climate change itself, like in the agriculture space. There are about 800, so we've done some research in this space, there are about 800 million jobs worldwide that are potentially impacted by the transition to sustainability and climate change. That's about a quarter of the working population in the world. And that's if we don't do anything about this in a coordinated way, we're going to see this massive disruption. On the other hand, there's an upside of maybe 300 million jobs worldwide if we actually do something about this in a coordinated way too. So skills really become that currency that we can sort of judge how big this disruption is and then do something to manage it through this transition.
Is there a way to ensure that workers in a carbon-intensive sectors have retraining, reskilling, and redeployment opportunities in a green economy?
There are really great examples from across that I'll actually draw on right now that I think can very easily be applied to hard-to-abate sectors or these carbon-intensive sectors. So one is sort of internal to an organization. So we work with a British consumer goods company that has established essentially an internal talent marketplace, and they use AI to essentially kind of understand the skills of their organization. And in doing this, by the way, they found out they had 3 times the amount of skills that they thought they did, which then allowed them to kind of match that with the open positions and allow them to not have to hire externally, which we know has like a tremendous cost to it. Similarly, internally, there's a US-based insurance company we also work with that similarly kind of uses the people analytics. So, most organizations have a lot of data on their people, including, not only what skills they have, but what their passions are, where they want to kind of have some ability to. And so they use these people analytics to match them against what they know in their workforce planning is coming up, what skills are needed, and then they partner with external universities and their learning development teams to upskill those people to fit into those kind of future jobs. We've seen other things where organizations are tapping into, I'd say, non-traditional talent pools. And then I'd say there are a couple others that we're seeing both kind of in the energy space itself, which is we work with a clean energy company that is really focusing its recruiting efforts specifically on carbon-intensive industries. So they're recruiting out of there, knowing that skills are transferable, but also wanting to make sure that those people have a safe place to land as things kind of transition over. And they've done interesting things like scrub the job descriptions of previous, like pedigree information. So no longer requiring, a certain degree from a certain institution or even a certain industry, but more the skills-based. And then they're investing a lot in helping to retrain people. And the last one I would say is this partnership across communities, which we've heard a lot of folks, I think, up here today say, within the community, with unions, with learning organizations, and the organization itself. So it's important in that kind of just transition that we're thinking about, especially the already vulnerable communities, and making sure we're making decisions that, become a catalyst to drive that change.